Hey, Scott from Aristocob.com here.
And Seth from achickenpasture.com.
And together, the three of us, we are Markwood Men's Breakfast Club. Welcome back to Tobacco Advent Day number 9.
Number 9.
Morning, boy.
Good morning, Homer.
Proud to see that the the pickle cob is hanging up here now in its permanent location on day 8.
There we go.
The Ocho.
The Ocho. So we have a treat today. I am very excited to share this with you guys. When this came in, it just blew me away.
Ditto.
So today's tobacco is from Brent Richards, and before we show you the other part, he sent us Russ's Cinnamon Roll. This is from
Russ Olette's
Pipes and Cigars.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and load up.
Okay. We are, if it's your first time here, welcome. We're smoking in the official pipe of Tobacco Advent, which happens to be the Morgan Nose Warmer, the Naked Morgan Nose Warmer, available at Aristocob.com.
That smells really good. Have we had this before?
I don't know. One of the things I've avoided is cinnamon.
Yeah.
After reading that article a couple years ago on the antioxidant. No, not antioxidant. What is it? The free radicals or something that was. All right. It's a couple years ago, but there was a concern with cinnamon in e-cig juice because something happens when you breathe cinnamon. Okay, so I don't breathe the smoke from my pipe, but I decided at that point, well, I guess I shouldn't smoke cinnamon. I've enjoyed cinnamon. Remember the biddies, the Indian fake cigarettes that had cloves and things like that? Some of those had cinnamon, and I enjoyed it. But anyway, I don't know we've had this.
I wonder how much of that is from cinnamon and how much of that is artificial cinnamon-like flavorings.
It was about cinnamon.
Really? Mm-hmm. All right, so Brent did a couple of really great things for us today. In addition to sending a favorite tobacco that he thinks we'll like, thank you for that. He sent, when we open the box, we see that there's a nice note.
A plastic laminated.
Plastic sheet protector. We are really confused. And so we turned it over, and this is what's on the other side. And I'm going to leave this here for just a second to let you get the full scope of what we're looking at here. So we've got Homer cutting into a yabo with a screwdriver, tamper, pipe, plane tickets, saying, hey, got me a yabo. You'll notice down here the microphone, which is a throwback. We haven't had the microphone in some time.
It's been a while.
Over here, I'm pretty sure this is a wrench. Pretty sure this is a sonic...
a pipe wrench.
Pipe wrench, yeah.
Very specific to the plumber.
Pretty sure this is a sonic screwdriver. Got my Keep Calm and Tampon shirt on. And the clock timing is correct. It's amazing. And then I'm dreaming about... Get a good zoom in on that. My wiener, yourmouth.com. That's right. This is beautiful. Thank you. This is so good. Thank you.
We are thrilled with this. We need to ask him if we can put that on a t-shirt.
Oh,
look at the cinder blocks in the background. I mean, everything about this is perfect.
I know. It's so good. And then in addition to that, Brent asked some questions, some really great questions, and so those are what we're going to answer today.
So we're throwing out the
I'm vetoing all of them today.
All right, so a couple good questions. Here are the questions for the day. With Lane 1Q being Scott's go-to tobacco, what is Boy's favorite? And here, throwback as well, if you didn't know. He calls me Homer. I call him Boy. It's absolutely a reference to The Simpsons back in the day. Although we did have somebody who thought that I was saying Boyd. Yeah. And so you were getting questions for a while there.
Hey, Boyd!
to Boyd.
No, not the same. Yeah, and so really, he called me Boy on the Aristocob channel long before we had Markwood Men's Breakfast Club. And the very first experience I had with the YouTube pipe community was at a tobacco show in Nashville, pipe smoker show in Nashville. And a lot of the people there watched his channel, and so everybody there who watched his channel knew me as Boy.
You must be Boy.
Yeah. Yes, I am. I am Boy. And it is a reference to Homer calling Bart Boy. One day he came into my room and said, "Hey, Boy." I said, "What?" My mom said, "What are you talking about?" And I said, Oh, hey, Homer. And it's stuck. And so I don't call him Dad usually. I don't even introduce him as Scott.
No.
Most of the time, I introduce him as Homer. This is Homer. Sometimes I'll say, like, if I'm saying my dad, I'll say my Homer. On accident, it's weird. So, such a great question. 1Q is still your go-to tobacco.
Yeah, no question about it.
Okay. So, I don't think I've talked about it in a while, but one of the reasons why I enjoy Tobacco Advent, why I enjoy Markwood Men's Breakfast Club, is because it gives me the opportunity to smoke a pipe. Outside of this time I spend with you, I almost never smoke. I don't have a go-to tobacco outside of this time because I'm not smoking my pipe. On very, very rare occasions, it happens maybe 5 or 10 times a year, and those occasions are when we go camping, when we're doing a bonfire, something outside that gives me the opportunity. I don't smoke in any of my vehicles. Part of the reason for that is my wife doesn't enjoy the smell of smoke on me. That's actually what got me into vaping in the first place. I have young kids. I don't have the opportunity to smoke. When I do have those rare occasions, my go-to, I guess, is you're going to have to pronounce it for me, Tabacalotl?
Tabac Lidl is how I pronounce it, number 6.
Number 6.
From a little tobacconist down in Nagold, Germany, in the Black Forest of Germany. And it's a place where I get to occasionally, and some of my coworkers get to occasionally. And whenever I have anybody who's heading there, I know that they're heading there, I'll ask them to stop into this little tobacco shop and buy me a couple tins.
Yeah. And so...
as you call it, the Fruit Loopy German tobacco.
Yeah, so what I like about it, and I enjoy English tobaccos more than Homer does, but this is not that. This is an aromatic, but it's got a really complex flavor. And the first few times I had it, in particular, it stood out. It's got a really complex flavor that almost tastes like Fruit Loops. It's just constantly changing. It is an aromatic. I enjoy it. It's easy to smoke.
But it's made up of a lot of different cuts of tobacco too. So there's a little bit of flake in there, as well as some ribbon cut. So it smokes well.
Yeah, it smells really sweet. Yeah, you can see, if just looking into it, you can see the variety of cuts. And so it's just very complex. It's very complex, but it doesn't, even though there's a lot going on, it's not trying to do too much like some tobaccos. And so I really enjoy it. I have several tins in my travel bag.
What you pointed out to me is every time he is going to go smoking, he pops into my house and takes another tin off the top of my refrigerator.
Yeah, that sounds right. So I thank you for that, by the way. So that's my go-to, I think.
I think that's true. Now, Brent asked another question. Since I didn't get to answer a question, I'm going to answer this one. And the question was, why Markwood Men's Breakfast Club and not Pipe Club? Markwood Men's Pipe Club. And that's a good question, and I've answered this a long time ago. But when I was a kid, let's say around 12-ish maybe, visited Denver, Colorado for the wedding of my uncle and aunt, and the morning of the wedding, a whole bunch of the men, looking for something to do and to get out of the ladies' way, went out for breakfast. And because we traveled a lot and moved a lot in my family, my dad being in the Air Force, was never really around my uncles very much. And I sat there looking around the table, and it was such a neat moment with my dad and his brothers and some brothers-in-law of theirs and so on. It just struck me as being a neat little experience. And years later, when I had my own boy, I started this tradition of randomly waking boy up and saying, "Hey, get up, boy. It's time for Markwood Men's Breakfast Club," with no real announcement usually. And off he and I would go and have breakfast. And so for how many years now? 25 years of your life, probably?
Probably more than that, yeah.
We've had these random Markwood Men Breakfast Clubs. And as other family members have come and gone into our, traveling through on vacation, or we get together with them, we'll invite them along to Markwood Men's Breakfast Club. So it's an old family thing that I created in my own mind. And when we were looking for a name for this show, it was just an obvious one to me.
Yeah.
So the show has nothing to do with breakfast normally. Every now and then there'll be a biscuit thrown our way, but that's why. No really good reason.
Yeah, just an excuse to get together. For us, it was almost a personal extension of Markwood Men's Breakfast Club, because as I've grown older, started my own family, sometimes the only times that we would see each other in the week were a breakfast club. And it happened, interspersed, but usually when you start feeling that longing, hey, it's been a couple weeks, I haven't seen you, he'd call me up and say, hey, you want to do breakfast in the morning? And usually I would say no, because that sounds like an early thing and a young man's game, and I am a night owl. But and so this has become an excuse for us to get together, smoke our pipes, for me to get to smoke my pipe and do something I enjoy that I don't get to experience most other times in my life. And
these conversations that we have here in front of you, in front of the camera, are often the first time we're talking about these very things, and the first time I'm getting his perspective on something. So yeah, this is real and this is fun.
And it's really cool, the idea that we started this when my oldest son hadn't developed language yet. And the fact that this is going to be here forever, he has at this point almost 4 days worth of video footage of his grandfather talking about sometimes random silly stuff, sometimes really serious stuff, and to have that, and his father to have that forever is really cool.
Mostly random, stupid stuff.
Mostly random. And his great-grandfather. The conversations with my grandfather a few weeks ago are precious to me. I was able to, I don't think I shared this with you, I shared those with my cousin, who I said, hey, I've just finished editing this video with this conversation we had with Grandpa, talking about, clearing up some questions. We've had several conversations with him on video. I don't know that I've ever shared those with you. So here's the one I just finished, and here are a couple other links. And he said, wow. He said, first of all, Grandpa is a badass. He said, no, you've not shared these with me, and thank you. This is so cool.
So that answers the question whether or not he subscribes to Markwood Men's Breakfast Club.
He doesn't, but it's okay. He might now, because we just have to have more Grandpa.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I'm all for that.
Brent, thank you for the tobacco, for the question prompts. This is a lot of fun. Mostly for this just awesome, not copyrighted at all picture. YouTube, please don't take down our video. This is great. And I, as a way of saying thank you, I think we'd like to send you this German tobacco that you probably can't get at your local tobacconist.
I know you can't.
So thank you.
That tin or another tin like it?
Well, I'll find the most recently stolen tin and send it out that way with your quarter mint.
All right. Awesome. Yep, Brent, thanks so much. Thanks for watching. Thanks for being part of Markwood Men's Breakfast Club, because you are 1/3 of Markwood Men's Breakfast Club, if you hadn't figured that out. And to the rest of you, thank you for watching, and we'll see you again tomorrow. Wait. What do we think of this?
Oh, I like it.
Yeah, me too.
It's got
good cinnamon.
Some good spice, but fairly mellow.
Yeah.
I like it.
All right. Tomorrow.
Thanks.